I said, they ain't got no, I seen Haywood come up and start putting the one on me, checking him. I said, they ain't doing right over here. I told Haywood, I said, Haywood, make sure you give all the members. I said, give all the members my heart. He said, this ain't gonna take long. I said, did you tell him? He said, I told him. I said, who you told? He said, I told me, I'm your only member. That's when you know you're shooting bad, but definitely good to be here. I appreciate Mr. Who appreciate Bostic and Justin, Leon, Malcolm, everybody. I appreciate all of y'all hanging in here and keep going. So I wanted to show up. I know they had a room like I was dead or something. It's gonna be hard to kill me. It's gonna take a while. Isn't that right? It's gonna take a while. I ain't going like that. Isn't that right? I definitely want to be here and see y'all faces. But it was rough about watching that live stream. I know folks at home, I'm looking at, we're gonna get some cameras. We change the cameras. I kept looking at that screen, you all you see it, the color code. You looking like, what in the world? And then you'll look at them perform, and that thing, you know, you'll see a good move, when it blink back, they done. You said, didn't they just start singing? So, yeah. So it gave me a chance to see what people at home suffering with it. So, Most High be our help. We're going to look to change. It ain't going to be before y'all too long, because I don't want wife is stressed out either, because she definitely wanted to make sure she keep me around. I want to keep her around, too. But I definitely want to be here and see y'all faces. Isn't that right? I want to be here and see y'all faces. I appreciate her. Yeah, she been taking good care of me, though. She have. When she don't hit on me and beat on me, she do a little something up there. Appreciate Boston. I figured it. When I seen, he been putting a lot up there. It's on the back. Go yeah. It's on the back side. You said it. Well, got a new one over here. Oh, yeah, make one in it. Woo. Yes. I tell you what, though, it'll definitely make you appreciate things. A lot of stuff we take for granted, you know, just the daily operation of moving around and those liberties that we have, we don't consider. They all go through and come through by Mr. Yahuwah. And it's imperative that we make changes. You know, I've been thinking about it and always thinking about what we need to do as far better than ourselves as a people. I'm still, you know, a strong proponent on, you know, we got to break away, not just religiously, we got to break away from these people physically. When you look at talking about being free, we're not just talking about free from debt. We're talking about freeing ourselves from everything that holds us and bound us. You know, Mr. Yahuwah, he got stipulation that he put in for how we got to walk, how we got to live. And we got to follow those parameters if we're going to be saved. They're getting late. A lot of people not going to make it in. That's just the pure fact of how it is. It's our job while we're here to make sure we get the most effort we can to make sure we make it in. You don't know when you lay down, you might not make it back. So you got to make sure whatever you do, you got everything already set aside. Y'all got it? Let's just being honest. You got to make sure that you're good with wherever you at and with what you got. When they come down to your health and you get down to the crisis end, he said you won't make it back. And everything you heard was the last thing that you're going to hear. And that's the only thing going to get you in. You need to make sure you're where you need to be. What you don't want to do is try to wait till the last minute, try to compile everything and try to get it in. Every time y'all hear the word, that's your opportunity to sit back and consider. When the word come along, y'all familiar with a program called Word Perfect? That's what we're using. What does Word Perfect do? It fixes errors. So when you got error, and what does it do? Spell check and fix errors. They got that from us. That's what the book for. That's what we're looking to be word perfect. When he come back here, that's on the program work. This program he set up, this is it's not obsolete, it still work today. How a woman ought to dress, how she conduct herself, how a man ought to dress, how they ought to conduct themselves, how the young people should obey their parents, and how the parents should rule over them. Everything he said, how we ought to conduct ourselves, how we ought to walk, all that word perfect. And if you ain't got it, then you're not getting in. That's just bottom line. So that word perfect, is it designed to go through when you get through typing, it corrects while you typing, or corrects after? Wow. Because sometimes it's hard to correct stuff when you get too far gone. It's good to get it as soon as you catch it, you fix it then. When the word comes, wherever you ain't at, that's your opportunity to go right in and get it right. Don't wait till later on you get too far. It's hard when you get too far down the road. When you get set in your ways and you got yourself set a certain mindset, it's hard to come back and change things. But what we got to do is do just like he tried to tell them what they had to do. We got to be converted. Y'all hear? I ain't said convulsion. You got to be converted. Y'all got it? Sometimes you'll have money. We had to go to Sweden one time, me and a few of our kings. And we went over there. We had American dollars. Some place they want you to convert it. They had places where you can take it, you convert it over. Y'all got it? And that's what we got to do. We got to be converted over. Yahuwah can't transfer no junk. Y'all got it? It's got to have some value. Y'all got it? This life you got ain't worth a whole lot. What you getting is worth more. That means you got to really make sure that come up to the mark. When you start doing this on the playing field of the value of how much eternal life is and what you got, you ain't got nothing. Every one of us is devalued. So we got to try to get this thing converted. So we got to give them something that's acceptable. We're still in a system that don't care nothing about you. What's that? Ahmaud Arbery, this case they got going on with him? I don't see how in the world black people still sitting here.
Yep.
America should be unraveled.
Yep.
The fact that they tell you they couldn't find but one black person qualified to sit on the jury, it was 11 whites. Yep. You see what I'm saying? But they did. But you know what? In all honesty, they didn't do wrong. They gave him a jury of his peers. Ahmaud Arbery ain't on trial. The white men are. That's why you put majority whites. Yep. Now, when the so-called Negro on trial, why they don't put you on the bench? Why don't they tell you they can't find no whites that's qualified? Because that's the type of system we in. So you can come here and you can sit down and dress up and play religion, but what we believe, you gotta be able to appertain, you gotta be able to continue when you're outside the building. Yeah. This ain't something we put on for Shabbat and Wednesday night. This is something you gotta live every day. You're in a system that don't care nothing about you. Now you sit here with this other case where the young white boy out here with Kyle Rittenhouse, where he done gone here and managed to shoot 3 people and they can't be called victims. Yeah. They gotta be called rioters or vandalism. What they call them? Looters. Looters or rioters. That's how your system's set up for you. That's what they think about you. Now when you come in, you sit down and hear the word, what exactly are you trying to accomplish? What are you actually trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to get a religious freedom? Because they're not going to let you have that. Anything they're going to come along, they're going to be conducive for us, it's going to be total separation from these people. That's just being honest. Ain't no need to keep telling lies. You can listen to all the talking heads. You can listen to all these civil rights marchers. Every civil rights marcher you can name, I can show you where they fail you at. If you complete it, it don't make sense for you to still march. You don't have a successful civil rights leader. Anybody that tell you they do, a liar. And they don't care nothing about you. They're going to sell you over and induce you with some religion, give you a cute white Jesus. Jesus don't look like you. Jesus look like them. Because Jesus worked for them. Jesus is what they use to oppress you and get you away from the truth. When Elohim established the Shabbat, that's what he set for it. It never changed. But they got your stuff and they altered it. It was to get you off. And now we're trying to come back and reestablish and reaffirm ourselves. So we got to do a lot of changing. Y'all got it? You just can't settle with, I'm doing well financially right now. Things are going well for me. That's just today. What's your tomorrow? How many of y'all living today? You'll die tomorrow. You know when tomorrow is? The day you die. You're going to die. If you're living right now, you're going to die later. We are here to make preparation before death overtakes us to make sure we don't have our time spent in Sheol. That's right. Huh? We're trying to keep ourselves from burning in no abyss somewhere. Y'all got it? So we got to go through and use their program word perfect so we get it right. Y'all got it? Before it's over, you're going to see people got to come from everywhere got to come here. Ain't nothing else out here. These folks have sat around and lied to these folks and made it for if the preachers ain't sleeping with the women, he's sleeping with the kids. The rest of the ministers stay homosexual. Isn't that right? The mothers are bulldaggers. Y'all hear me? And the sisters, they can cross-dress, do whatever they want to do. Woman come to church with a shirt and a tie on. And a pair of suit pants, those abomination. Made by the much sense a man with a skirt and a dress on. Isn't that right? It's time to establish ourselves so we can save our young people. We have to declare to the nation what's right. Nobody else ain't told it to them. They signed an infrastructure bill. What about our infrastructure? That's all we ever got from these white folks is bills. We need some payoff letters. Isn't that right? What y'all ready? You know what? I am so sick of watching black folk talk about what's going on and how unjust it is of coming back out marching, going, the polls ain't working. Tear the polls down. Tearing down. White folk done already paid law. They don't want you to vote. What you can't keep forcing yourself on these people. It ain't your country. That's not your place. It's there. So when you're in their place, how you think they're going to conduct themselves? As such, when we read this book is Swahili to these white people. These white folk go to church on Sunday. They believe in Jesus. What are you talking about? No Shabbat, no Sabbath. Everybody knows Sunday is the Lord's day. The only problem is we don't serve the Lord. We serve Yahuwah. We have an Adon. This is the white folk Jesus. This is the white folk God they gave us. Trying to get out. I appreciate these young men here standing holding out too. Everybody can't. For those y'all that doing it, those y'all ain't doing it, you need to quit trying to tickle your pickle. Appreciate these Alcuvian holding out too. I know it get hard, it get tight. It's supposed to. It's a pressing way. That's right. Just like come here, wasn't supposed to be comfortable. Everywhere you go ain't gonna be comfortable. If it was comfortable, everybody could do it. That's right. If it was easy, everybody could do it. You know how hard it is? How you gonna keep most women afford to a pastor? Oh, yeah. All you gotta do is tell me see something in her. Yeah. I see God moving in your life. You growing, you getting thick. Y'all, Lord, getting ready to do something. Y'all come in my office. Yeah. Hey, it's funny now because you don't get it here. That's reality in these people churches. Right. And the members so dumb they pray for them. Why am I going to pray for my pastor and he been praying and he can't keep himself? What is my prayer going to do for him? I've been eating from him. Right. The people are so dumb, they think they help lifting him up and the whole time he's tearing them down. So we got to come in, we got to get this thing right. All right, I ain't going to be before y'all long. We're going to just talk and get through so I can try to keep it moving. But I sure am glad to see y'all. Boy, it sure is good to see y'all. We're going to let them go ahead and get the, they're going to get ready to sign the Kato Sarah, and after that we'll stand and we'll continue to move forward. All right. All right. We'll turn and face toward the east and pull out. Most High, Kudash, which is the separated, Abba, the Father. We say Hadu, which is thanks for allowing us to assemble once again. Please forgive us for what we've taken for granted, what we procrastinated on, what we lusted after, what we considered other than your Darak, which is your way. We ask you to hala us, which is guide us, into the Arak, which is the way of life, before it's everlasting too late. We ask you to reaffirm and confirm for us our commitment with you, that we falter, we faint not. We ask you to baraka those that are watching, that are looking, that are seeking, those that are here of an earnest love, that's of a heart, to desire that they might be saved. We seek you with all for no other help we know. We've tried drugs and alcohol, cigarettes, women and men, and every other thing that's even known to man, but you spared us and given us opportunity to come before you to admit that we had gone wrong. And while we had gone wrong, you had continued to be a Sadiq Elohim, which is a righteous, a Sadak Elohim, which is a just Elohim. And now we come before you, most Kudash Abba, separated Father. Remember us, Zakah, according to the Berith you Shabbat unto Abraham, Yatsakak and Yacob, the Yahudim, and to Yasharal, to their Tuladaf, which are their generations, even unto us. And as we prepare to move further, we palau, in which we ask that you take full control, that you get the Tahalim, the praises, the Kabud, the glory, and the Kabad, the honor, in the Shem, which is the name of Yahusha, Yahusha HaMashiach. Let us all say, Amen. All right. All right. I know we started at Romans 15:4, right?
Yes, sir.
Got to get a base. A lot of times people take off and go, and to everybody to each his own. But at the end of the day, we try to have a base and then a platform so we know what we're doing and where we're going. If we're trying to get to salvation, we got to look at where we're at first. Only people looking for salvation are people in a dire situation. The reason why a lot of you guys are procrastinating, I mean, you're a lot of procrastinating. I thought about it, looked at it, considered. I know it's a lot of procrastination. And the reason why is you don't understand what situation you're in. This is the same thing Yahusha saw in the 19th chapter of the book of Oriah they call Luke, when he went over a city and he wept. Why?
They knew the day of visitation.
They didn't know their condition. A lot of times, a lot of people sit here, you don't know your condition. You know how many times people found out they had cancer? Some people didn't even have no alarm. They didn't have no alert to even know. They had little stuff. They said, what's that? Nothing. What's that? Nothing, a little something. And they keep going, and finally get a check. They come back and say, you know what? You got this, or you got this, or we want to run some labs or some tests for this. And the whole time your body was giving you little signs, little warnings, but you missed it because you thought it was nothing. And that's the same thing happens when it comes down to the word. It comes, you know what you say? What is it? Nothing. What's that? Just a little something I deal with. And the whole time you'll realize he tries to warn her before he take us out of him. That's just being honest. He warns her before. None of us ain't here without warning. He ain't took nobody out here and people didn't know. People just don't want to know. You are accountable and you are responsible for yourself when it comes down to salvation. You can't get your eyes and your love fixed on nobody before him and what he wants you to do.
That's right.
Because whatever you put your love on, all he going to do is blow on it and take it from you.
That's right.
I've seen it too many times. Make it your heart. Make somebody your whole life. Make somebody your whole going. Make your job your everything. The reason why you get up and why you lay down. It's supposed to be him first.
That's right.
Y'all understand the man said he wants you to harp him with all your law. That's all you heard. That means, this is what happened. If I harp him with all my law, then let me borrow you for a second, Candy. You've been a while since you've been used, haven't you? When you had the last one you used your bicycle? You must have messed up bad. Don't worry about now. But so if I love Elohim with all my heart, that means I don't have room for you. Y'all understand that? Because I'm harping him with all my heart. How that's gonna work though? Unless if all my law is directed toward Elohim, the only way he gonna get it, he gonna have to be in the same pathway.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? If he him, this ain't gonna work. Y'all got, so all of your law is gonna be dedicated and committed toward the things of Elohim. Y'all got it. What we tend to do is we play games. Y'all understand? The things that we attach ourselves to are the things of Elohim. These are the first things and the primary thing we have to learn how to harp. But we have to understand what our commitment is. That's good. Appreciate it. All right, this is Romans 15:4. All right, listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
For whatever was written before.
Nikatab for our Lamed.
To show us.
That we through endurance.
To show us. To show us. He's exactly right. The structure is to show us too. See, you can tell a person something all you want to. It's a difference when you show them. I remember sometimes parents tell you, get in there, make up your bed, you go make up, look a mess. They'll come in and get pissed and I want to snatch that stuff out of there and make it up and show it because they want you to see how to do it. You can tell a person and assume a person know, but when a person sees, that was the purpose of leaving us example. Just like they do on tests, they will give you an opportunity so you can see how it works. So you have an idea before you continue. Same thing he wanted Musha to know. See that you do all things after, not before. How you gonna do it before a pattern? I wanna make a dress before I go get the pattern. It's not gonna meet the pattern standard. So then a pattern had to be laid first. So that's what we follow. When we follow people like Yahusha, who is our first and our last, it only makes sense. Y'all got, he's the only way it makes sense to be our first and our last. And then we start to look at the patterns that he set and we look at the person in between, the break. Who we gonna look at the break? Who gonna make for the breeze? Adam. Well, you Adam for the breeze. Yeah, because Yahusha showed up first. The hand. That's how Elohim made everything by his hand. What did we learn this from? EU. Who said that? You said that? What you said about EU? Tell them about him. He's going to teach them about the hand of Elohim. Why do you think it's the wrong answer? Fares. And Zara. He's exactly right. So we saw Fares, we saw his hand first. Remember that you saw his hand first. When we go to Barashit, when you start hearing Elohim created, Bara, guess what you're going to find he used? The hand. That's how he made all things by his hand. Because later we learned that Yahusha, he made all things by Yahushua. So what did that tell us Yahushua was? His hand. Y'all got it? So then we know that the hand showed up first. Then who we saw came out? Adam. Adam came. That was the breeze. Who were we waiting for? Yahushua. The same thing they were looking for. They were looking for the one who had the red string around his wrist. So we had a break in between. Y'all got it? So that's how we can find out he was first and he gonna be last. The fact he showed up, he let somebody come make a breach and he came right back at the end. That's how you can tell he the olive in it too. Otherwise, I don't know how you're gonna explain it to me. You just gonna use the olive as chart and show it to me? First and last. All right. So the only reason I know that, listen why? Because whatever was written
before.
That's how I know that. It was
Nikatab to teach us.
Hold on. What you say? Did you say written? Did he say written?
Nikatab.
Oh, it sounded like you said written. Sound like I heard written. Was Katab written to show us. So this is very important for us to show, to know that. So that through
endurance,
without giving way, and through
Nakum,
consolation
of the Ketubim,
we
might have Tikva.
Guess who you don't give consolation to? People that don't continue.
Yeah.
Who give you how many of y'all ever been in a competition, you ain't completed, and they gave you a consolation? They gave you second. They gave you a consolation for not completing it. Ray, you out here now, Ray. All eyes on you, Ray. You like Tupac, all eyes on you. You got a consolation prize because you didn't win, but you quit. They gave it to you. You know why? Because you kept enduring. You see that? That's what we got to look at. Sometimes what we'll do, we'll look at if somebody won. Like you'll see people run right, they're like somebody already said, they're like, don't do it. Even with baseball, you'll see sometimes they see the guy about to throw them out, they'll slow down. You're supposed to run with everything you got. Right. It's an opportunity. He can throw it, can hit over his glove. He can drop it. And your hesitation, your slight hold could have been the delay that kept you from actually making it. And that's the mind. You know how many times people see, what's the purpose? I'm already out. What's the purpose? I ain't going to win anyway. I ain't going to get nothing. Then you're exactly right. Y'all got me. He's going to give it to the person that did the labor. So that's what when we look at this, we need to understand why we use this for a pattern. When we leave here, this is not going with us. What you hear is going to go with you. What you know, you have to activate this when things happen. When something comes up and happens, guess what? Whatever was written before, it was only written to show us. And through not giving way and consolation to those who did not give way. Of the writings, we might have tikva, which is a cord. A cord. So we're going to use the word as that cord, correct? Hello? Yahusha said the word. What did he do? He hid in his law, in his heart, so might not katab against him. Now, Basti talked about someone that they should remember. You talked about them. He talked about protective gear, protecting, guarding. All of your vital organs are sitting in a certain place for a reason. When they send police officers out, you don't believe it. They give them a bulletproof vest. Because a couple of your vital organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, and your kidneys. That's the first thing they want to try to find out. A lot of times a person's shot, you want to find they hit vital organs. Mm-hmm. And those are the most vulnerable. So even though they're caged, sometimes you got to come in and put another protective wear on them. Well, yours is caged too, but we got to put another protective wear. Now, what were we told to do?
Put on the whole armor.
See that? Sometimes people think you have enough, but you actually don't. When you're guarding this thing, that's why he said why you think he had to hide the debar? Because somebody's seeking it. Didn't the book teach us that our adversary goeth through like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour? So why am I going to leave it open to him? See, it's your job to protect it. He's given us all the information we need to set ourselves up and set ourselves a defense. And that's what we don't realize. A lot of times we sit on the offense too much. You need to set up a defense too. Your offense got to be your defense too. Y'all hear me? That's our protection. We got to make sure we make it in. I got to make it in. Ain't y'all trying to make it in? Well, you got to do whatever you got to do. You ain't no hoochie mama, are you? Then we got to make it in. Hello? So let's look at something. See if that's the, let me see. See if that's the 8th chapter of the book of Acts of the Apostles. No. 8th chapter of the book of Yahusha. See, we don't do this on a little bit, you'll forget what book is what. But I can work that one too. Yahusha, they call John. 8:30. A couple of things we need. And we're trying to examine it and make sure we get it. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Boy, y'all sure look nice. Been a long time since hold on for a minute. When I say y'all look nice, please hold your individual content. I assure you it's not directed to no one person, Chris. How many of y'all thought I was talking to Chris? Joanne said I didn't know. Yahusha, they call John, chapter 8, verse 30. Oh, boy, let's see this. Listen.
As he spake these dabarim.
And it came to pass when he spoke these words.
Many among on him.
Many believed on him. Let's see what happened.
Then said Yahushua to those Yahudim which among on him, if ye continue in my debar,
in my word,
then are ye my Talmudim indeed.
See, that means that you're his taught ones. That's how you know what people do today. Now, I seen Boshik up here one day. I don't remember what day it was. You had an FIU shirt because you went to Florida State. Where did you go to? Miami? University of Georgia? Where did you go to? And you had an FIU shirt on, signifying where you came from. That's the same thing we got to do, signifying where you come from. That's why people wear it. It's signified. They get a degree. His degree ain't gonna have Florida State. Ain't gonna have University of Ohio. You know, it ain't gonna have a Roll Tide on it. It's not gonna make sense. Everything gonna be symbolism to where he came from. Where he said, now if you continue in what I'm teaching, then it's gonna show that you're my taught ones. Y'all got me? There are certain attributes that's shown to those that have been taught of him. And that's the thing we're trying to do. A lot of times people try to pray a long time. People try to do a lot of stuff. But for him, he looked at how well you take what he told you and you don't give way. Adultery ain't, if I get just really, really horny and my wife ain't acting right, then I'm not a Talmudim. Adultery is adultery. Y'all got it? Now I'm a Talmudim. Y'all got honoring my body is always honoring my body. It ain't when I feel a time I upset, I was going through some things, and I ain't know what to do, and I turn to it, because at that point, I'm not a Talmudim. Mm-hmm. I'm a Talmudim, he told me, if I continue. So how do we learn continue for us? The noon. Can we see that? The chart, please. The noon, this is part of our Alabeth chart. This is our language. Y'all know I love this because this is our language. The noon. This is the seed. This is the seed. The noon, seed, what does it do? Continue. This is what he told us to do. So when he spoke to them in a language that they would have understood, simply because they were what we would call husbandmen, farmers. So they understood as long as you have seed, you can do what? Continue. So he's saying that if you continue in my word, which means the word, if you stay with it, it continues to allow you to be able to stay connected to. It does not cut you off. See, when there's a cut, there's a split, then we have to bring in something like, let me see, down, my eye, right here, Zen. We just had the Zen. Food cut. That's what we look at. That's what we do. Some of us cut ties with the way. We do. We do. Certain things we do will come in, it'll be a Zen in our life. People will hold the husband, hold the wives, people hold the kids, people hold the other things they might have that they call, that's their pet peeve. That's why we don't have animals in here. Because we don't need your pet in here peeing. Thanks. For the record, I only had one seat for the Malkuth Day and Princess has it. Oh, don't worry about it. She'll mess it up. Go give her a hand clap. She'll mess it up. We know Princess will mess it up. They don't be like, how y'all know she gonna mess it up? If she don't, one of y'all need to trip her up. Listen, somebody gonna hold you back. Isn't that right? You trying to get in. So this is what we're trying to make sure we don't do. Allow this to come in and cut or serve us away. This is what he did when he brought us from other nations. So how we understood that one, because we couldn't see the detriment. We see people like we do. You can't like that. We taught it typically what you do. Don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know a person until you really get to know them. But for us, Yahuwah already knew the people. That's why he let us know, I already made you a special treasure. Y'all got it? So people that I'm going to acknowledge are going to have the same rituals and rights that you have. So when you go in and see people, you assume these like some good people. If they are, then they'll adhere to what you're doing. So a lot of times we say, I don't like to just judge because you don't ever know. Give time. Time will show you things. But make no mistake, people that's of Elohim are going to do what? They're going to hear his word. If you're of Elohim, you're going to hear Elohim's word. If you're not of Elohim, then you're not going to hear his word. Y'all got it? That's the differentiation. That's how we learn who is who. Whether or not you will hear. When Abraham went into the town, when he went into the city of Gerar, the Malacca Gerar, when he came in, Abraham didn't know him by looks or his people. But what did the man do when he heard Elohim speak? That's right. He shama. He hearkened to. He withdrew from what he was trying to do in order to maintain life. What was the severity consequence if he didn't? Move. Let me tell you what's dangerous. You guys don't really believe that. I know you don't believe it because you wouldn't commit Qatar if you did. That's right. I'm trying to get you word perfect. That's the difference now between you and him. We'll get there. Listen, 8 and 31. Listen. Yahusha said to the Yahudim who are mind in him. So if you were there and you were on the fence, you hadn't grown yet. You ain't where you need to be. What was he saying to you? You were there. You ain't picked no belief whatsoever. You trying to find out which way to go. What was he saying to you? That's the same thing I'm doing to people. If you don't amon on him and you ain't trying to amon him, I'm not talking to you anyway. And then it don't make sense. Who was he talking to? He was talking to the Yahudim who did what? And the only reason to tell me this is to tell me there was some other people there who didn't believe. And there could easily have been some Yahudim who didn't believe. But who he was talking to was the Yahudim. That's why he's trying to show us who among. If you among truly stay, see that's a difference. If you truly, can we see what word they running for truly? Let's look it up. Amat. Let's look up Amat. From the Abari, please, sir. Because you can't do nothing you don't know. Impossible. Impossible to do something you don't know. Again, we talked about when we look at English words, and it's not bad to know English definition, so we do a comparison. Y'all got it? But when you look at the Abari word, it's a little more direct. It's a little more like guarding, to protect. It makes a difference. A lot of people have a word you can come and take it from them. You know, you got a person dribble the ball, come down the court. What's that person you call? Dribble down the court person? Point guard. What is he supposed to do? He come up for a second, for a second. Point guard. You play point guard? Yes, sir. So if you coming down, you come across like you dribble, come on, you come. You supposed to let me take that from you. What you supposed to do? Protect. What about it? I'm going here. Protect. That man like he finna dunk on me. That man lost it. You saw that? You know what I try to do? I try to bring two congregations together. Say, the man tried to dunk on me. He know I'm still healing. But what he did, you know, though humorous, is exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to protect. And that's what he's showing us. When we get to the bar, we're supposed to protect it. Why is he expecting he think he just finna walk across that line? If nobody guarding you, going to the basket. Let me see. You just going to the basket, you dribbling. Nobody in the way. Going to. Why you dribbling why you ain't dribbling the way you were dribbling when I was? Exactly. He's exactly right. Nothing stopping but when something's in your way. But that's what I'm saying, because it is funny, but at the same time, you have to envision how you have to be when the adversary comes. Because if you don't, you're going to lose. You know how many guys have went and lost the ball? Because guys have picked them. You know how people will pick you too? They'll learn what you do. They'll stay. And guess what happened? Your adversary knows what you'll do. He knows you cry, you wallow up, and you quit. He knows you shut down and you lock down. He took the ball from you. You know what they know? Some of them trash talking make people give it. I used to play, but I didn't be got this. They were out trash talking to them. Get them. Soon we get, I hold his shirt. Soon as I hold his shirt. They said, what you doing? They said, man, what you? I said, man, grab this shirt again. They been trying to figure out, what is it, man? Why you keep grabbing them? I done done. I done got in their head so much they talk. They be like, nigga, that would have shut up. He would have shut him out. I said, everything you saying on the sideline. They be pissed because they let me get in their head. They were good. They nutted up because they let me get in their head. They started making an issue of they were pissed. They were about ready to fight. They were going to lose that one too. But at the same time, my goal was to get you off. I need you off the court. I'm not finna let you go ahead and dance down that court on me and make me like no fool. So I got in your head and made you give it up. And before you know it, you're on the sideline. That's what happened to us. Why did those things happen in my life? Because it gave me an idea to realize that sometimes people don't have to physically touch you and do things. People get in your mind. So guess what you do? You have to guard your mind too. Okay? So we look at amat, stability. That's what it is. You'll use trust, trustworthy, and certainty. That's true. Because when something got stability like that floor, how many of y'all get up and walk on the floor like that right here? If I'm walking like this, what's this a sign of? I ain't sure about it. So what we're looking for is what? Certainty, something we can trust, and something that shows trustworthiness. That's what the word does. Got it? Now guess what happened when the word amars me to do something, commands me to do something, and I don't do it? What is that? I'm not sure about it. I don't trust it. See, that's what we need to figure out. Where have we gone wrong? What has been our error? What's been our fault? When I get pissed, I just lose it. I got to come back down and get it together then. But if the word has already designated me something to do, then I'm supposed to have stability. by staying with it, not my own stability. I feel good when I feel good. No, your stability should be because of the word. The word has been tested and been tried. It's not going to move. This isn't something, that's why he told us that whatever was written aforetime, how you going to trust something that's new just come out? It's like the virus. Even when they come out of 2022 car, you know how many of them cars going right back to the manufacturer? Listen, I do this. I've been doing this. When new cars come out, they're going straight back to the dealership. The dealership can't get them fixed. They call the manufacturer. You call headquarters with a GM, you're going to call Michigan, Motor City. You're going to call up Detroit, you're going to call them, and you're going to speak to the people who designed it. I bought when the Navigator first came out with the running boards coming out, I had the first one in the whole Southeast state. And it went closed, the back of it closed fun, they kept having to push it. I took it back there, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. They had to call the manufacturer designers of it. They went back over and they realized then when they built it, they didn't have enough air between the brake lights. They had to come back in and redesign the brake lights because it wasn't getting enough air, so it wouldn't let it close when it was supposed to close. But see, you had to go back to the manufacturer. It hadn't been tested. See, when they do them little tests, that's inside a building, sitting on there, run around the track. No fun not driving them car for no 25, 50,000 miles. They'll run a few miles, put on the track. It's supposed to be good. We keep following the same plan. But if the plan wrong, everyone you put out wrong. That's why it's so imperative when we come here to make sure we're following the plan right, because the plan been tested. Who ain't gave us nothing that we jumping out here with he know ain't going to work? He knows it'll work. Everybody who used it didn't use it properly. So now we got to go back and make sure we use it so we can get the most efficiency out of it. Like sometimes you'll get newer cars, you know what they'll do? They won't just show you gas mileage, they'll show you how to get more efficient gas mileage. That's the difference. You getting gas mileage. I don't care if you get a couple of feet before you go out. If you get mileage, you get some mileage, but they'll tell you in order to get your best mileage, maybe use this gas, try to maintain this speed, try to watch your braking. All these things are imperative if you're trying to get your most mileage. Y'all got me? So that's what watching your weight. Now, all these things are imperative for us. Isn't that right? He told us to lay aside. Guess what? So you can get your most mileage. How far am I going to go with heavy weight? I'm going to put it right now. But in light, what you say? I can do this when? All day. See that? I got better mileage right now. But it all starts with having the stability. If you have stability. Y'all got it? Let's go back to what he said. Appreciate that. Yahusha said to the Yahudim who amoned in him, believed in him, if you, see that? If you truly stay in, if you have stability in my word, so you can have it, but you're not stable. Don't y'all know that's what people are going to look at, who's stable? That's just being honest, stability. Can we see what stability means from the English definition? We don't want to assume nothing. I've seen 3 young ladies I like to fight. Detective be calling them any day now. Except for my moot. She innocent. All right. All we just do stability, stable. All right, stable root word of an object or structure not likely to or firmly fix. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to firmly fix it because it's going to get tested. Y'all got it? It's going to get tested. That makes us different when you're talking about being stable. How many of y'all been told you weren't stable? You know, people told that, and that's been no doubt why. Because somebody was mad or they saw an inconsistency about something. Or, you know what I'm saying? They seen you be, what you call the other word I'm looking for? What is it? Waver. Waver is another I was looking at. Kind of inconcise. You know, you inconcise? Somebody inconsistent? Incisive is, and what? Incisive? That's what I said, didn't I? Carrie told me what the other word you went, because you went to college, didn't you? Can't use a lot of big words, though. Because you said you one I ain't telling you. What word that was? Indubious. He said you had a cousin you to look up stuff. Oh, he to make you look up stuff. Weren't you on the bus with Johnny Gamble? Find the man and look him up. Indubiously, he one of them. You grew up in the city of Atlanta, right? I ain't nowhere in the city of Atlanta you can use that word. I will come back over. We'll try to move on down through him. But does it make sense about being stable? Yes, about having stability? Okay. You are my Talmudim, my taught ones of mine. Let's see what he tells us at 32. All right.
And ye shall know the Amat, and the Amat shall bring you out to freedom.
See the difference? So when Yahuwah came and got them out of Mitzrayim, that they call Egypt, again, wrong connotation, Mitzrayim. Start looking at their bloodline, look at the people lineage they brought us out from. So now, he talked about them, you shall know the Amat, and the Amat shall bring you out to freedom. It has that type of stability. So anytime you send in captivity, there's not stability for us. Y'all got it? We're looking for something to be stable. Y'all got it? Sometimes, you know, they'll take kids from you sometimes. You ain't gonna believe it. Why? Because they said the home not stable. Parents aren't working, on drugs, drunk, people in and out of how they say there's no stability in their home, so you take them out. Y'all got it? Same thing Yahuwah took us out from our forefathers. They weren't stable. They were indecisive. Y'all got it? Anytime a new Elohim come up, they'll want to try it out or venture into it. So he looked at you not stable, so I had to take your kids from you. Now he got us, he put us in a rehabilitation center, and now try to get us back to where we need to be so he can bring us back to the place that he Shabbat to our Abbas. Why you think, come on, some of y'all have been taken from your parents or known people were taken from their parents because of things in the home or things going in the home. Well, what you think was going on in the home when we were with our forefathers? They were serving other Elohims. They had the same behaviors of all the rituals of all the people that were around them. You could be around these people and not be of them. That's the problem we got. Too many times we make into people. Abraham taught us that he was among people of other nations, Gui, but yet he didn't give in to what the behavior of the people were. He never traded his Elohim for their Elohims. See, for us the problem become, we'll adhere to other people's doctrine versus staying to our doctrine. Society, these people will look more than us, but they're not more than us. All these people, you get every one of these Christians together, none of them believe the same thing. Yeah. They got 3 gods, 2 or 1. We only got 1 Elohim. That's right. Yeah, right? But he diversified himself. That's right. Isn't that right? We understand the operations. They don't understand the operations. And that's important for us to know if we're going to be saved. That's part of your stability. Because these people will shake you and they'll make you move. All right, let's see what he told us. They answered him, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We be Abraham's seed.
We're the offsprings of Abraham.
And were never in bondage to any Ish. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
Okay, now that's what they want to know. We have never been enslaved to anyone. Why do you say you shall become sons of freedom? That's the difference. Listen what happened.
Yahusha answered them, Aman, I say unto you, whosoever committeth Chayah is the Abad of Chayah.
Let's see what happened.
And the Abad abideth not in the Bet Olam, but the Ben abideth alone.
So he said, now the servant does not reside in the house forever. Then the Ben shall reside forever. Now he talked about them becoming the sons of freedom. So what did we have to do when we saw Yahusha? How do we have to view him now? As who?
Abba.
As the Abba. We can do that too. And as liberty. And as liberty. Let's see if that Galatians 6:1. Galatians 6:1. That's how we got to be. Because now he just told they're going to become the sons of freedom. Y'all got it? Let's see that 6:1 is what I want. 6, see if it's 5-1 or 6-1. See if 5-1. Okay. So I said 6-1, 5-1. Listen.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty.
You hear what he told you to do? Stand fast, therefore, where?
In the liberty.
I couldn't imagine who.
Wherewith Mashiach hath made us free.
See that? That will make him now, that make him the autumn of liberty, freedom. And now stand fast in the freedom with which the Mashiach has made us, and shall not return to conquer with the yoke of
Bondage.
See, that's what we're trying to make sure. See, he just got through talking to some people. He talked about making them free. Well, Shaul, who came along after his death, he came along and just told you, and now stand fast in the freedom. That's right. That means that's your stability. You don't have stability in captivity. You have stability in freedom. Y'all got it. You can't serve in captivity. Y'all got it.
That's right.
And he said, and shall not return. I think it told you to say, and be not entangled again. But he said, and shall not return to conquer with the yoke of bondage. Our goal is not to go back to what we brought from. So what did he do with Mizraim? He made Mizraim be something that was so oppressive and so hard and so long enduring for us that it was supposed to work that we won't want to go back to it.
That's right.
It made you cry. Let me do something. Let me get a hand for that. You ever do that mercy thing? You ever did it, somebody made you cry? Nobody ever, stop. Whoever did, somebody made them cry, make a bed. How many of you want to do that again? Why not? It's a hurt. And that's right, it's a hurt. So it's like, why would I want you to hurt me again? Something mentally would have to be wrong with me. So he looked at, when he brought them out, they should have a mindset, I wouldn't want to go back to that again. That's how you understand and not being entangled again. Y'all got it? And that's what wound up happening to us a lot of times. We wind up getting ourselves entangled with some things. So now he told you, and stand fast in the freedom with the Mashiach has made us free. So you don't get entangled again with the yoke of bondage. What do we find a yoke to be? A burden. Can we look up what a yoke is? Because Yahusha told you he got one too. Let's see what a yoke is. A yoke, a wooden cross piece that is fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to the plow or cart that they are to pull. Let's see the Aleph chart. You need to know this. If you don't know this, there's no way in the world you understand what you're doing. It's just not, it's impossible because it don't make sense. Unless this is the first early communication we had. This is it. So they understood this writing. This is what do we call this style? Hieroglyphs. It means to use pictures to write as words. This is called hieroglyphs. The Mizraim Egyptian called hieroglyphics. But it's hieroglyph just short in hieroglyphs. So you see this? This is the olive head. This is when we came here and when they started in their second style of writing. They drew the plow. You see this wood going across here? That's a yoke. You will have an animal on this side and an animal on this side. You'll have a donkey here and you have an olive here. Unequally yoked together because they don't pull the same way. How you going to be equally yoked with somebody, y'all going two different places doing two different things, but we together? It ain't going to work. And they learned that. They've already tried it. Then when he told them about not being unequal, how you going to understand this? You don't understand about plowing. You don't understand about putting two animals and putting a crosswood on them. So you got to understand this, not being equally yoked. Or then he told you not being entangled again with the yoke of bondage. When these people went around these other Elohim, they had to carry them Elohim, they had to worship them Elohim and serve them Elohim and build them Elohim. He said, when I came and I showed you me, he said, you never had to do that stuff. I told you don't make no images. Don't do it. I didn't want to put you on no servitude like that. I wanted the fear of the bar that I gave you, the promise of life attached to it, that would be enough motivation to make you stay and adhere to it. That's what we're trying to watch the yoke. All right, let's go back over. It told us about, okay, and not being entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Let's look at something. Freedom is something we got to have. Now, something else you got to have after that. Who know what it is?
Money.
Money. Resources. All those things going to be needed too. See if it's the 10th chapter of the book of Yahusha. Let me see 10 and 9. They call John. Ten and 9. I saw all my wonderful live streamers out there. I appreciate y'all guys too. I heard some of the stories of him. People got fluid in their lungs and around his heart. I said, where that came from? Y'all stop that. Where y'all been on Google.net? Man, I had fluid around my lungs and in my heart. I said, God damn it. I said, let me get up and choke. I said, let me cough this fluid out and come on. 10 and 9 be good. Okay, let's see this. All right, let's do this taller. This is Yahukanan, they call John. Again, it means Yahuwah is gracious. This is 10 and 9. Listen.
I am the door.
I'm the door. What happened?
By me, if any enter in, he shall be Yahusha, and shall go in and out and find pasture.
That's how he said. That's how you going to get in and out through the door. Let's see what happened.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have Chayah, and that they might have it more abundantly.
Okay. They put Chayim for life. Continuation. I would have said Chayah. Put Chayah up there. What's that? Chayah. So we're looking at more of a substance. Yeah, I mean, let's think about this. How many of y'all in here dead? Well, I've come that you might have life. How many of y'all in here dead? I've come that you might have life. How many of you guys are dead? Dead, I mean, you talking to people already living, so your speech doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. You come that we might have life. If I'm choking and you release the hands that choking me, I'm drowning, and you get me from drowning, hey, I've been looking for you, waiting on you. But if I'm sitting here and I'm living and breathing and I don't see the obvious, it's not happening to me, I don't really understand your speech. Unless to live, to revive, to bring back to life from the dead. So that's what we're trying to look at. That's the only definition I got for it. Certainly, primitive root, to live, to revive. Should have had another definition too. Well, you can look at this, to keep alive is what he'll try to use. To revive. What you say today? Go back to Chayah. See, what is this we're using right here? Is this lexicon? So what's strong? See what the lexicon. So it's saying lexicon. They'll all be similar, the same. So you're talking about reviving, then you're talking about putting something back. Correct? Let's see. We put left, okay. No, put in lexicon, do this. Scratch back. Put in Chayah, Hebrew. Hebrew meaning. I don't usually use Google, so I mean, this is a bit different. You put Hebrew life, okay. I don't know what it gives us for this. To live, have life, look, remain alive, sustain, you gotta scratch that out the way. Okay. So y'all see that? To live, which they were already doing, right? Have life. He said, I come that you might have life. Remain alive. Now, I could be interested in that. I'm very interested in that. That you talking about that I can remain alive. You just come, you told me I'll come that you might have life and I'm living. I'll just be honest with you. I'm going to look at you kind of funny. I'm going to be kind of lost. Listen, don't let people play you for games acting like you're supposed to catch everything people try to tell from a standpoint. You got to understand their language and understand what is he saying to them. What's going to make me listen to him? What's going to spark me? I'm already living. Y'all got it? Yeah. So you got to get me to do this. I'm trying to tell you, I'm come so you can remain alive, so you can sustain life. Listen, live. I'm interested in that. So you see, when you just hear, I've come that you might have life and that you might have more abundant. Okay, like what? More abundant. I'm trying to give you so it can be more prosperous. So you can look, live. See, these are things that be quick, and this is after death. So you're talking to people, looking at be restored to life or health. So now this makes sense for the fact that Yahusha went around doing what? Healing people. Why? That's a form of Chayah. That's what we were looking for. We all get sick days. We want to recover. Well, he said, I came so you can recover. That was the whole purpose why he came. He came in the synagogue and they gave him the book. He came to try to let them know. I came to heal the brokenhearted. I came to set that captive them that'll bruise. Ain't that right? People that were captive, he said, I came to set them free. This was the purpose. So when you understand our language and look at how it's defined and look at what is it we offering them, to live, have life, remain alive, sustain life, live prosperously. We saw this when he brought them out of Mizraim. He brought them out with goods and abundant surface, because you know how he wanted them to live. Chayah. Now, they got preachers to tell you what you do when the basket comes. You double and he gonna triple. No, that's not how we're gonna do it. There's an aptitude we gotta have. There's an attitude we gotta have. There's a servitude we gotta have in order for this to be conducive for us. A lot of times, it ain't just you reading. There are things we have to activate and we gotta understand. Freedom, and then you gotta know how to live with it. Health is important. Yahushua and all of Yahushua, he said, I would above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your nefesh, your soul prosper. See, a lot of times people not looking at, we're trying to grow on every whit. That's what he intended for us to do. This is not our sell out for eternal life, but in order for me to understand it, there are things that I have to grasp here. There are things I have to understand. There are things I have to do here so I have an understanding or I'm cognizant about the premise of eternal life. Constantly living, how you take a seed and you continue to plant. As long as you have seed, you can continue to grow. And that's what he made sure with Abraham. Abraham is still vibrant alive today through who? Through his seed. That's right. That's what they told me. They said we're the offsprings of Abraham. Y'all got it? So these are the things that we're trying to do. Pick me up right quick at the book of the 26th chapter of the book of Uyakra. I'll try to get y'all out of here. They call it Leviticus, chapter 26. Uyakra 26:1. They call Leviticus. All right. Listen.
Ye shall make you no idols nor graven image.
Y'all see that? You shall make you no idols or graven images.
Neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of a bond in your arats to bow down unto it. For I am Yahuwah, your Elohim.
So when he told you about making these things, so sometimes people see somebody put a stone or something up and they'll say, you know, the Bible said you ain't supposed to have no stone put no. He was talking about for you to put down that you're going to serve it, you're going to worship it. All these things were off limits. See that? Let's see what he told you. Ye shall not make for yourselves idols, nor shall you set up for yourselves an image or a sacred pillar, nor shall you place a figured stone in your land to bow down to it, for I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Now, if you don't do this, your land perfect. That's how the land got defiled. From our behavior, from things that we introduced or induced into the land. Y'all got it. All this was to keep them perfect. This is what people, I come out of Christianity and they taught us that fools and nobody can be perfect. How do he tell you be ye therefore perfect if you can't be perfect?
Right. That's right.
Elohim is perfect to his word. That's why he gave us the same thing to show us how you can be made perfect by simply adhering to the same identical traits, by keeping the same identical patterns, by letting you know you had a connection to him, that he's given us everything we needed to know concerning his will. People want to know some stuff they ain't even. When is his birthday? Had nothing. If you knew it, how would it save you?
Right.
There's just some stuff here. I don't know what his birthday is. If you knew it, it would help you serve him how? Especially when you can't mathematically come up with the number, he gave it to you anyway.
Right.
Your number start from 0 up. That's your stuff. All right. You shall keep
my Shabbats
and
reverence my Magdash.
Hold what you got 1 second. I'm talking about something. 19. 18. Hold what you got. See if that's Beth Mala Akeem. Why am I thinking that? 18? Say that's 18 and 1. See if it's Beth Mala Akeem. I don't think it's Olive. I think it's Beth. Yeah. Jump down about verse. That'd be fine. We'll do it now. That's how they work out. Let me see. Beth Malakim. They call kings. We have emperors. We don't have a king. So please don't go tell nobody that Yahusha is a king. You're going to be telling lies. We have an emperor. King 18. All right, listen.
Now it came to pass in the third Shana of Husha, being of Allah, Malak of Yasharal, that Kazikyah, the ben of Ahaz, Malak of Yehuda, began to reign.
Okay.
25 Shana old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 Shana in Jerusalem.
Shana is years, for those that don't know. Shana is years. Go ahead.
His aim Shem also was Abi, the Bath of Zechariah, and he did that which was right in the sight of Elohim.
Let's see how. Y'all see that? Now he did right in the sight of Yahuwah. A couple of things we consider with coming on like that. We want that same testimony, but you got to have the same attributes. So when you go back through, one of the things he did was he gave you who he was, his ranking, then he gave you his lineage, which means somebody followed a certain pattern. What was the parents supposed to do? Teach their children. We don't do that. We teach our kids how to color, how to read, how to do their ABCs, and all this other stuff we do. We don't really think of the importance of this man had a berith with Yahuwah simply because it shows you he did what was right in the sight of Yahuwah. That's like sometimes you find somebody got a sweet watermelon. It's real sweet. You go across town to another place to try this. What you typically want to do? I want to go back there and I want the same one like the one I got. Guess what Yahuwah looked at? That's why he kept getting the lineage from Daud. Daud did what was right in the sight of Yahuwah. So he went right back to get the same watermelon. Because you see, every time they did what was right in the sight of Yahuwah. Now we need to find out what he do right. Let's see what happened.
According to all that Daud, his Abba, did.
Look at that. So he followed this. Listen, he did right according to all. That means that Daud was the pattern. No, Daud was not the pattern. Daud received something. And because he made a berith with Daud, that there was never going to fail to have an Ish that sat upon the throne because of how his servitude was, okay? Daud, he came from a particular lineage, okay? We're not going to make him exactly the pattern yet, okay? But I'm just saying all these guys' pattern was to follow the word, because you got to look, when you go back, Daud is not where it started at. We got Abraham. We don't go no father Daud. We go father Abraham, Yassakak and Yaakov. Those are the patterns. Those are the predecessors that set the pattern for us, even for Daud. Daud had a copy. What copy of the book did these guys have? These guys were the written copy. Right. They were the literal writing words, living words. Daud had a book that he had to have copied out that he followed. Yeah. But when you go back to follow him, you can trace to see that these guys all had the same behavior, which means they had to be his Talmudim. Yeah. If you continue in my debar, then are you my Talmudim indeed? Guess what you're going to know? And the Amat, you ain't gonna believe it. Who are emperors under? Where do emperors go to get bank loans from? All right, let's go. Next verse, 4. Listen.
He removed the high Malcolm.
See that? One night he had a dream. God, he's had a dream that a mule had fell in a well. And somebody threw dirt on it. And every time the dirt got on the mule, shake it off till it got to the top of the mule, walked out. This is what he did. He did what, Lee?
Removed the high Malcolm.
Wow, he removed the high places? What else he did?
And break the images and cut down the groves and break in pieces the brazen Nakash that Moshe had made.
Tell me what happened.
For unto those Yamin,
What happened?
the Benim of Yasharal
Did what?
burn incense to it.
And
He called it Nahash Tan.
he called it that curse thing. He realized that was wrong. See, that's how he did what was right. You know, they say, well, I mean, the people enjoying it. I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna hurt nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people need to do a little something. He looked at the book, said he did what was right. Y'all know when we found out when he did what was right, that was the last thing he did. Mm-hmm. Then he went back to tell, because he declared the end at the beginning. He let her know the man did what was right. Now he went over to let you know what he did.
Yeah.
See, when he saw it, he realized you got a copy of the Sefer. The copy of the Sefer told every emperor he had to keep a copy. So when I look back through the Sefer, I'm looking and I'm seeing this. What I need to do? Well, let the people make their own minds up. It's their own salvation. He said, no, I'm the emperor. So it being the emperor and the ruler of these people like that, this stuff got to come down. Yeah. We can't wait on to cut it down now. Let's get it out of here. Because we were told not to even have it.
That's right.
That's why we got the book, so we can get perfect. You know what some people do? See, we ain't right. Let's go. I knew we weren't right. We finna go to hell. Somewhere don't exist. Right. We sometimes verses, he used the word to get perfect. Yeah. And guess what the book declared? Still right. Because when I come into something and the knowledge of it, what you do? You're supposed to pray about it before you touch it. Walk in it. That's all he did, Dave. When I look at the book, when I go back through the Sefer and I look and saying, we're not supposed to have this. That's not supposed to be here. Cut it down. Take it down. And Yahuwah count that as right. That's Sadiq. That's all it is. Just doing what's right. What determines what's right? The Debar. The word declares what's right. Yeah. That's the only way we know how to walk. We don't have our people. Tony Smith, you a liar and your mama. Yeah. I don't have no right. The only right we all have is to concur with what the words say. Mm-hmm. To intersect and interline ourselves up with the word so we can be word perfect. That's right. That's it.
That's right.
Don't go as people think, man, I've been doing wrong. That means all my rights are going to be blotted out. Because they don't want to change nothing.
Right.
Before we blot it out, how about you stop doing it?
Yeah.
Because let's go with that. When a man does that which is wrong, then all his rights are going to be blotted out. And if a man does that which is right, then all his wrong going to be blotted out. Is that not written? Mm-hmm. So we can't record everything about Daoud. Everything we record about Daoud got to be after he slept with Uriah's wife.
Right.
Y'all can't, what y'all got y'all actually trying to teach about Goliath? So you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
See, if you ain't got no mind to stay with it, take correction, don't y'all know that's what the book for correction? Mm-hmm. People think, soon they find it done some further, they think, verse it, get away from it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's our whole goal, to get away from. Once we understand what kata is, kata'im is, it's an offense. You are a criminal. You are wrong. We got to learn you are missing the mark. All these things, when you learn it, you realize the importance of I can't afford to miss the mark. You know what Shaul told us what he was doing?
Press forward.
Pressing toward the what?
The mark.
So if I'm pressing toward the mark of the high calling, what am I doing with kata? I can't, because kata means I missed the mark.
Yeah.
So if I'm pressing toward the mark, don't y'all know I'm literally telling you I'm not committing sin? Right. I'm not committing sin. I'm striving. Are you pressing toward the mark? Y'all see how important this is? That he walked in and changed it? Because it's important for us to have leadership that come in with this mindset. He listen, it don't matter how long. Well, I mean, we had this in with Moses, with Musha back here. We've been doing this a long time. We can't do it no more. See, a lot of stuff he tried to tell us about before when he brought us out of Mizraim. He said after the doings of Mizraim, he said you can't do that no more. He didn't stop us immediately. We just come out of Mizraim. I'm going to stop you on the road. We just leave. Now I'm going to stop. Now we ain't going to be able to do nothing. I ain't going. Where all these new rules come from? First, let me get out of the situation. Y'all got it? Then he grafted us in. Slowly but slowly start bringing us in and bring us into knowledge. Then realize now you're to a point where I need to come down. I need to teach you. You need to be instructed so you'll know. because where I'm going to take you, you're going to have to operate like that. Now what people do, you got these Hebrew Israelite group, they're going to have butt-like groups. They'll tell you can't keep nothing over him. They do. They'll teach, they're lying. These groups ain't nothing. These folks ain't nothing but whoremongers. All these folks want to do men, just swap up wives and men, have sex and check for penis. I don't know what these folks be doing. I don't know why you going to no church whipping your penis out at no door. Somebody check you for no circumcision.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just being honest. And when the book clearly told you this, the circumcision is of the law. It's of the heart first. It was symbolic. I'm never against the circumcision now. But the fact was, Abraham, what he received when he came to Abraham was in uncircumcision. He gave him circumcision as a token. Abraham was already operating in a relationship with Allah. He did not get in a relationship after no circumcision. Then he came along to establish the creed of circumcision among them. Then we come back around how important it was to remove the foreskin from around the heart. For a male that understands the circumcision, the foreskin that covers over the head. Well, this is like a blinder. A man that blind can't see where he go. And sometimes things will come in and blind your heart. We're emotional people. Sometimes our emotions are rule over sense. And that'll come in and be detrimental to when it comes to salvation. You can't rule out, you can't let no emotion rule you. So we got to learn how to circumcise that law. All right. All right. So I needed y'all to know that. Let's go back to the 26th chapter so I can get them finished. Uyakra. They call Leviticus. Let's see what he told you now. He told you about not having none of that stuff in his land, not doing none of that stuff, getting. Then he come back. The second thing he tell you is, listen.
Ye shall keep my Shabbats and reverence my Magdash. I am Yahuwah.
So let's see what this is. We use for sanctuary. He use sanctuary here. He use Mikdash. Mikdash. Let's show him what the Mikdash is. But that's something y'all gonna make sure y'all be on top of. And reverence. There's a certain aura we need to have when we come in to do it. See, when the people came in before, they came in under fear. See, if you brought in something that was wrong, you offered up, the man kill you. Mm-hmm. So when the people came in, they had a reverential awe for it because they understood how important it was that there was a behavior you had. If you didn't, the man kill you. That's it. All for instant, it was wrong. I mistakenly offered up. Well, you died because you should have known the order before you came. When we read in the book of Kahalat, the 5th chapter, it said when you come into the Beth Elohim, what he told you to do? Keep your feet. First of all, keep your feet. Guard your feet. And be more ready to heal than to do what?
Yeah, the sacrifice of food.
Because you know what? He said, because they don't consider.
That's right.
A food don't consider. You're taught high because you're feeling good. It's a behavior you got to get through with when you finish.
That's right.
Man, come here and run around the room 20 times shouting and hollering. Don't hit in that eye closed. I want to see how you live when you get outside of here.
That's right.
That's a neat trick, though. At the end of the day, I want to know what you live. They used to shake you. You see folks jump out, blah, blah, blah. You said, man, they ain't got it. They got it. Let me see how you live out there. We'll compare it. We'll compare it and see who got it. Cause I can live what I'm talking about. You gonna have to shout and dance and wait somebody to pat a drum or something. I don't need none of that for me to do what I do. When they come, I do just like when Shamuel did. That boy here did. Once you taught something placed around or about a kudash thing or a place. Y'all hear that? Something placed around or about a kudash. We don't have nothing holy. This is Hindu thing or a place. Why would you put something around a kudash place or a thing? That's right, to protect it, to guard it. They put barriers up around stuff. When he brought the people down, he spoke to them. He told Musha the first thing he wanted to do. He said, put a rope. He said, bury this thing off down here, so nobody come near it. So you know the people understood. They stood afar off, and the people understood that it was kudash, and you weren't supposed to come there. And they understood that this is a special place that he's actually enhedged it about. Well, guess what? He's done the same thing to you when you take the debar. He's giving you something to enhedge you about, to keep you, because you are a special people. Y'all got it? And to be acknowledged. And they knew, he said, not one of them, not one of their daughters, not one of them, so much as to touch the bottom of it, lest they moot. Then if we understood how important it is that we couldn't err in what we do and that we were going to move, we'll make less mistakes. The reason why we make so many mistakes in him, the whole group, everybody included, is because we hadn't actually ascertained the information or the reality of you're going to die for what you've done. We're not talking about just your natural death. We're talking about we're going to burn for what we've done. Because we hadn't sat here and realized how important it is that this man hasn't hedged this about. It's just a special place. And I wanted to acknowledge as a special place that everything can't go on in there that goes on everywhere else. They would acknowledge that. That's what he told me to do. When I give you my Shabbats, say that, listen, after I told you about all the idol God, my Shabbat, and I want you to fear my place that I call sacred, that I've set off for myself. I am Yahuwah. So the purpose of telling us his name, so we would know to attach the name. When we hear the message and we hear the name, we know whether it was him or not. Take off your clothes right now, everybody, and lay them on the end of the bench. I am Yahuwah. Did that sound like Yahuwah?
No.
Yahuwah had not sent them. See, why you know it ain't Yahuwah? How you gonna know? It don't follow pattern. You know what people do? Well, you can't say, people use stupid stuff. Well, I can't say, I don't know how we got book to verify speech. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. Then anybody can walk up and say he said something. Mm-hmm. Unless I got something with some stability in it. Because I'm looking at, here go Koski y'all after he had come along years upon years later, years upon years, hundreds of years later, and yet he came back to keep the same creed they kept.
Same thing, that's
right.
right.
To take it down, he never left it.
That's right.
It never changed. You go in, you find all kind of figurines stuck up and stuff. Yep. All this stuff that the folk fall down and worship and pray in front of. He said, you're not supposed to do it.
That's right.
I served you. I used the Zen. I cut you away from those people. Y'all got it. I kept you away from those.
That's right.
When a farmer comes in and he put the Zen on a crop, when he separated, he don't put it back with the stuff that he separated from. He puts it somewhere else.
That's right.
That's what Yahuwah going to do with us when he come back here.
That's right.
He said, when I come to him, my goal, my determination is to separate you from these other Goyim nations and put you somewhere that you never be back with them.
That's right.
Y'all got it. That was the purpose. They understood that from their land. They had been with other Goyim. So when he put them in their own land, they understood about being separated from other people. Being Kudash, that they were a special thing. That people knew they weren't supposed to touch them. That people were supposed to fear them because Yahuwah treasured them. The reason why he doesn't get the kabood that he needs to get out of us is because of us. It ain't because of the people out there. These people that went and met a Paris climate agreement on coming together. It ain't money, it's us. His arm hadn't acknowledged him. We've dropped down, subsided in order to fit in with these people and make these people like us out here, and that's why their place getting tore. White people ain't tearing this stuff up.
That's right.
Chinese people ain't none of the coal miners tearing it up. Yes, that's all destructive. None of it. The oil and the water, not them. That's us. We hadn't humbled ourselves. Humbled. We hadn't actually sat down to consider our ways. We hadn't sat down to make change. Some of us, we're still the same people. We're the same people. You're trying to fight through it, but you're the same person. Mm-hmm. You got to let it go. That's just being honest. We got to let it go. It's a bond. It's a bond. You know what? You're still entangled with the yoke of bondage. We're trying to get freedom mindset. We're trying to become the Benim, the children of freedom. We want to stay in that liberty. We don't want, because you know what happened? And once you go and commit qatar, you right back into bondage. Hello? It's like people, they constantly stay arrested. They stay in prison so long. You know what you find out? They constantly keep going back to reincarceration, constantly getting reincarcerated. Because the mind, until the mindset changes, that this is not my end. You know what I mean? People succumb to, you know what? This just me, man. I'm just doomed to being in prison all my life. A lot of people who are sitting in prison have subscribed to. They've accepted. You can't accept your end. If you want a better end, then you can't just get out and say, I ain't coming back. You got to do things that keep you from coming back. Like not being around people that aggravate you and get you in those situations.
Right.
Not doing the same things that got you into it the first time or the fifth time or the 15th time. All of these are the attributes you demonstrate if you don't want to go back. If you want to be saved, then there are things you have to get away from. There are things you can't go back to. You have to acknowledge some things. 26th chapter still. Come on. Verse 3. Listen.
If ye halak in my statutes and shamar my mitzvah and do them,
then
will I give you rain in due season.
See that? Open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain. Is that how we supposed to get it? Why did the man just get up and say, let's walk in this statue? Because it's easier to sing a lie and make people feel good than people obey. When did he ever ask you to sing for rain? Go get some Indian, go get some feathers from a chicken, stick them in your head, run them down your back. And start going, woo, 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 woo. This don't get you no rain. Back me up again, verse 3. If you do what?
Halak.
Halak is walk. Where?
In my statutes.
Not if you just walk. You got to be in the creeds that I established. Let's see what the statutes are. Look up what statutes are. I'm at 2 sprays. Then we'll look at, I want to look at the Abari word for it too. This is a statute or a written law passed by a legislative body. Yahuwah and Yahusha are the legislative body that have decreed what we're supposed to do. So if we walk in his laws, which are his statutes, which he's established, then all of the criteria what he said he'll do it. But we've been looking for something that we couldn't possibly get when we had maintained a certain code of conduct. It's not possible. I don't even want you to even think salvation right now until you get to a point of understanding. There has to be a consistency. This can't be, I've been doing it for a week. It's been about a week and a half. I've been about a month. This has got to be a total lifestyle change. There's sometimes people like a woman want to get in her wedding dress. Y'all know about this. What you do? What they do? He said, lose weight. That's they just started. They said, how y'all know this? Y'all ain't women. How y'all know this? This is a familiar behavior. When they want to wear something and go somewhere, a family trip, they want to look nice, they bet they're going to lose weight, diet up, get a girdle, pull in so you can fit it, right? Well, let's do this. You got somewhere you got to go. You got to go to mosh. You got to go to mosh pot, which is judgment. You're going to need to wear something nice. So you need to come on, let's start dieting. Let's get some things out so you'll be able to fit salvation. Whatever you need to do, starve yourself. I'm talking about starve yourself from the stuff of the world. We're not talking about literally. But what we need to do in order to make sure we achieve salvation is the goal. See, what happens a lot of times, salvation don't stand in the forefront of us. It's set behind us. Y'all got it? The goal is to always keep it in front of you so when things come up, even of the flesh, I had some stuff come up that was of the flesh I was going to do. It was bad too, boy. It was bad. And that right there said, that's going to be tight. Because you're going to have to still try to justify what you do when you got to keep this in front. I'm human like anybody else. Oh, yeah, I'll listen all day long. Listen. I had to come back and acknowledge it and say, well, I got to look at what's more important. But I know what I want to do. But when you keep this in front, what people say, well, see, when you want to be saved, you don't even think things. He's not going to change your mind for things. It's up to you to block or to resist. Isn't that right? That's up to you. I'm trying to be saved, so nothing shouldn't come in my mind. Everything going to come in your mind. It will come in your mind before. You got to allow something to override. They got programs. They have a machine that runs. Sometimes they get what they do is stop. Override it. Because the program not doing what it do. Go in and override the program because you need to get control of it. Well, that's what we do when it comes to salvation. You ain't nothing wrong because you could think something or feel something or want to do something. But when you can do it in this, instead, in that move for you to do it, you're dangerous. Every one of us, you're dangerous. Salvation always got to be that pivot point. Always got to be the first point in front. That's what I'm here for.
Right. Right.
That's the first thing I'm here for. This is the only thing I'm worried with. Everything else is just additives.
That's right.
Everything else is additive. This is what I'm here for. Everything that's is contingent upon what he'll give me is contingent upon me striving for and working for salvation. All right, come on. So a written, now this is the word for an attachment, an appointment. So what? What I said? Oh, enactment. Well, it looked like, what I said, what made me say? So I was sitting from the side. Tagment. I don't know. That EN look. I don't know. When you sit, y'all look at. Yeah. You look. Yeah. That's what it was. If you look at it from back behind him, don't worry, don't you do it though. I do it for you. You got to be in the spirit, like that preacher told her. You remember he'd do that thing, he'd be preaching, he'd do it. And it'll be this how fast he go. And my dad asked him about it one day at a church. He said, man, I sure like to see you do that. He said, don't try to do that. He said, you'll throw your back out. You got to be in the spirit. Man, my dad came told, he was telling, he said, I talked to him. He said, you know what he said? He said, don't do it. He said, you'll throw your back out. He be in the spirit. I never did do that either growing up. I was a little kid. Because you heard, I didn't want to throw my back out. So it didn't make, you know some folks, let me see, bah, then you be laying on. That ain't make sense. Even as a kid, it didn't make sense. The man say you throw your back out, don't do it. Of course, he like, it's like, what, the part where, you know what folks say? Let me see. That's the same thing that happened while a lot of people lost the plan of salvation.
That's right.
I don't want to see nothing outside. I already done what you can do outside.
That's right.
And I was far from distant shore. Now he give me opportunity to come back in and have a part of liberty. I don't want to go back. Too hard to try to make it back here. An enactment. Let's look at what an enactment is. That's tight. That's what you teach over your group about enactment. Say you with me. There we go. Now we together. Enactment. The process of passing legislation. A process of acting something out. So I said that's what we're doing. We're in the process of acting. So if we act out what he's left for us, because you got rules that set up by governing legislative branches, it don't mean you follow them. Right. How y'all think y'all get these codes out here for speeding and stop sign? How many of y'all literally go to a stop sign and stop completely, and then everyone you come to stop sign, ain't nobody there, you can see for mile, nobody coming, you gonna stop completely to a whole stop.
Callum.
You gonna come to enough slow down and say, okay, and keep moving, ain't nothing coming, I see. But what did the sign say?
Stop.
When Yahuwah say stop, don't you do what you do out here with these people. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing coming, I can see my own way. It'd be different, I couldn't see, then it makes sense to stop. That's our logic. It makes sense, but the whole purpose is he told you to do it because it's on order. I want you to actually literally, this is a process of acting something out. So when he talking about you walking in, you're basically acting out. Somebody tell you, young people come and say, you know, I'll never be able to feel my father's shoes. What that mean? What you say? Act a part of his father. That's English and German. That's beautiful. I like it. I don't like it. We put them two races together. What'd you say about that, Dwight? I'm sorry I hear you. You ain't on the I done that before, Dwight. You human. But we shouldn't forget that fact. I've been talking, going out talking, so I said, I forgot what that was. Who? Look to the step. Live up to the attributes that his father already set, which means doing the very same things. You got what I'm saying? So when we're looking at the word we're looking at here, well, enactment is what they're giving us, a process of acting something out. Let's go back and look at the Abari word for it, then we'll go right back and finish up. Kukak. Kukak is how you pronounce it. It's what they're saying here, how to pronounce it. An enactment, an appointment of time or space, okay? Quantity, labor, usage. No, I like this. Simply because that's what we're going to look at doing. Now we got to act out the statutes. If I told you you keep the Shabbat, what you supposed to do? You're supposed to remember it. That's right. So what did the acts was of the Shabbat? Resting from your labor. What did Yahusha do?
Went to the
you said he moved?
Went to the sun again.
Yeah, he lost that one. Yeah. Your daddy never would have answered it like that. It'd be hard to measure up to that one. But understanding what was the protocol that they got for Shabbat. They were supposed to rest from all their labor. Then it became that they came in and they were being taught. These were the behavior, which means this was the process of what they acted out. In the 4th chapter of the book of Uyakra, Oriyah, they call Luke, it told you that, and Yahusha went into the Makdash as his custom was when? So that's what it's showing he did. That was the process of him acting out. What was already legislated said, on the Shabbat we come together to be taught. On the Shabbat, we put our labor, our stuff aside. Y'all got it. This is the process of acting out. So we don't want to just go saying like people do, they learn to quote the commandments. We're supposed to actually act them out. These are roles. When you get there, this is a script. They don't get no actor to go on here. They'll get this your script right here. This your part right here. Study this, learn this. And we come together and we start shooting. This is what you got to do. Well, you ain't going to believe it. Action. We don't start to shoot. You done got your role and you done had it wrong. You done got it wrong. You holding up production. Now, how long the man going to keep you on pay? How long the man going to keep you and you holding up? Y'all got it. With any of these films, what you got? Budget, and you got a deadline. This got to be complete. We got a deadline for you who will come back here. We almost approaching him coming here. So as they come, guess what happens with some of the people we get on here? You're going to get cut. You're getting cut. Just like they do for football. Everybody come to practice. Listen, come to spring camp. Call you one. By the time we get through, you're going to get a call. They come knock on that door. Them folks call you and tell you to come down. Let me tell you one word, football player I want to hear. When you get that call and them folks tell you to come down there and tell you bring your playbook. That's it. I assure you they're not going to give you another one. That, when they tell you, when they hit you, you're in your bedroom, and you in, listen, I had to pray with folks, listen. I'm telling you now, when they sitting there in that hotel room, and them folks call and say, we need you to come out here, bring your playbook. You're gone. Last game of preseason, you playing, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, you out there on that field. You going home. They put nobody, listen, only person they might leave out at the quarterback, they just got him going, I assure you, if you on that field come fourth quarter, you finna be going home. You're a rookie. You going, am I telling you for lies? Listen, I've seen so many guys, listen, they'll have the same stupid stuff. They'll be sitting here and be trying to pray. Ain't no need of praying. On the field fourth quarter, you going home. Mm-hmm. We just getting you out the way. We pull everybody we gonna save. And I'll tell you that now we sit here and we gotta make sure that we doing what we need to do, that this man don't mess around and pull us and snatch their playbook from us. And we mess around and we be on the outside. So that's how important it is for us to go and make sure we understand about this enactment that we got to go through here and we got to literally fulfill the roles. All right, come on. Let's get back to what we read so I can go. If you walk in my what was it? Kukak. I almost like kukak. Kukak, though. Kukak. Like Saka. All right, kukak. And keep my commandments. And listen what he told you. That's self-explanatory. And do them. And see that the process of you actually doing it. Let's see what happened. Then
I will give you rain in due season, and the arats shall yield her increase, and the ox of the field shall yield their pari.
Let's see what happened. Verse 5.
And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your lakam to the full, and dwell in your arat safely.
Now, everything you just heard right here, that's what Yahusha was trying to tell you. Everything you have is going to be studied connected. The whole purpose of why you were taking stuff in and you were doing tithe, which was always crops and never money. You were bringing it in at the first because you were storing it up because there's a time period where you're not going to have it. So you had it put up so you will be able to have sufficient while you were waiting. Well, who told us what I do? I'll fit it where everything will just keep rolling together. It'll overtake you. Y'all know how? It'll be so abundant you won't be able to get it all in. It'll constantly be coming that where there's never a break. There was a break. That was the whole purpose of when we get through with Shakar. That's the end of the year. We're done. So we got to store up enough to be able to hold us until the Shana comes back around. Y'all got it till we can start planning and get ready to take again. Now we can start eating old store. Y'all got it because of the new. Well, he said, I'm going to fix it where everything just going to overlap each other. It's going to keep overlapping. You're not going to have a break. It's going to just be a constant flow. And guess what he told you? Listen what he told you going to do. And your threshing shall overtake the grape gathering. For you and the grape gathering shall overtake the sowing time. You shall eat your bread to the full, and securely in your land. That's what Yahusha can't do. I can't so you can have Chayah.
That's right.
So you can live better, longer, and prosperous.
Yes, sir.
That's what he can't. But you know what he said the thief can't do? He's trying to take that from you.
That's right.
This system was not meant for you. And let me say that. I'm be good. This is not about hating white people. It ain't about hating white people. It's about hating stupidity. We have been here entirely too long on the planet for any race to question our color or our legitimacy.
Right.
There's no reason for nobody of color to explain to no other race why we're here.
That's right.
There's no reason to justify nothing that we do as a people to another race that didn't have an existence until after we came.
That's right.
Whatever hyphenated title you're going to put is not what you were.
That's right.
We were this color before you ever became a nation. So it make no sense to explain ourselves to nobody. It make no sense to beg no cracker and walk down no building with no sign that he owned and his markers and walk in front of him and ask him to give you nothing.
That's right.
That's what a child does to an adult.
That's right.
I'm not a child.
That's right.
I'm not going to ask no child about me eating nothing.
That's right.
Hey, kid, you mind if I eat? I ain't going to ask no another man either. I'm a man. If I want to eat, I'm able to eat. Right. So this is what we got to try to fix. We have to fix how we exist here with these people. These people got one or two choices. Either you come down the middle line fair with us, or we break away from you. That's the only way it's going to make sense. The man say, come, we have life and have it more abundantly. I can't do better here. America only going to allow you, so it don't matter how much a nigga gets, how much money, where you stay, how much education you got. You don't have nothing he can't take. If it's a rank, he'll take it. If it's a house, he'll seize or foreclose it. If it's land, he'll take it on a tax lien. If your education, he can call back something from a test score or computer made a mistake. How you ever going to be something here? I'm not teaching nothing to keep my people here dominated by these people. I'm teaching my people to get liberty. And the people I'm talking about, the people of Elohim, whether they're white, Asian, whatever the nationality is, except for Yoruba, Nigeria. I can't help them. I ain't nothing to do no Yoruba. Everybody you can't help them.
That's right.
I ain't gonna it's probably two of them out there. I ain't never met them. I ain't never met a good Yoruba in my life. I never in my life met one. Everybody got steal and tell lies. It's probably one. I ain't never met them. There's a whole lot of stuff I ain't met either. Hello? I ain't never met one of them. I just keep it real though. All right, that too.
Yes, sir.